Hey, hi, howdy, what is up? Welcome back to my channel where I make silly videos documenting the progress on my 220-gallon reef tank. Subscribe now if you're also silly and like the reef tanks. Sorry if I sound funny today, guys. I have a terrible cold, but a tank update is super duper necessary at this point. So that is what we're doing today. Yes, and where do I begin? Let's start with the good, then move to the bad, and then the ugly. Shall we? Also have exciting update about this tank, so stay tuned until the end of this video where I'll be making a big announcement about future of the 220-gallon here. So in good news, the bacteria bloom that has made me lose a bunch of SPS sticks, all of my patience, and pretty much all of my nutrients is officially gone. Hooray, yes. But the UV sterilizer is not gone. No. I can't trust my tank to do its own thing without this thing now. This UV sterilizer jankily placed on the side. It's not worth the risk, honestly. So what we're doing here in the future is keeping this sucker on permanently, although in a prettier position in my sump, and we're going to be sticking some live rock from my 40-gallon in the sump to hopefully establish a better beneficial bacteria base in this tank here. No, I will not add more rock to my aquascape. I know y'all keep pushing me to, but I love my scape, and we're not even gonna go there. Okay, we're not even gonna go there. I already have some bio bricks in my sump, like 2 or 3 chopped up in there, and I may add one more just for kicks, but definitely a little bit of live rock should liven up the sump, right? You know, I cycled this tank a year ago with bottled bacteria. I've never used bottled bacteria before, and I don't know if I will ever use it again. With my first tank, my BioCube 29-gallon, I used live rock. My aquascape, if you could even call it an aquascape, sucked, but the tank went really well. You know, I don't know if it was just like first tank good luck that everybody gets, or if it was the live rock, but with my second tank, my 40-gallon Innovative Marine tank, I used dry rock for the first time. I used real reef rock. But I cycled this tank using seeded, like, old filter floss that had gone yuck from the BioCube. And that tank went really well, you know, for the most part. It didn't establish itself as fast as the BioCube using the live rock, but it went pretty well, you know? But now with this 220-gallon, it just seems, I don't know, like unnecessarily complicated to establish like a good beneficial bacteria base here. Maybe it's because of its sheer size. I mean, it is my first large tank, so maybe that is it. Maybe it's a slow-moving vessel. Maybe I'm just not used to handling something of this size. But I am frustrated, y'all. I want this tank to be established already. It's like, this happens with everyone, you know, with every new tank that everybody gets, I think. It's like, with each new build, you walk into it with such high expectations. You know that the ugly stage exists. Like, you know it exists, you've been through it before, you know it's there. You know that starting a new build is frustrating. You know the issues pop up. It's normal. You're aware of this. But it's almost like, for some reason, we forget the sheer level of frustration that we get when we're starting a new tank. It's like, for the first 2 years, we're cussing out our corals, we're cussing out our tank, we're cussing out our fish, we're cussing out our algae, we're cussing out our cleanup crew, we're cussing out the hobby, and then the tank reaches maturity and establishedness, and everything is happy, and you just forget about everything that you cussed out before. And we forget about all of the ugly stage completely, you know? Then we start thinking about a new build. And then we're like, oh yeah, the ugly stage sucked. Yeah, sure, but it wasn't all that bad. Like, it's what makes this hobby fun, you know? Like, it's about all the surprises and the ups and downs. It's the journey. You know, I'm known for saying that myself in the past. It's all about the journey. Well, you know what? We walk into it real optimistic, don't we? We really do. But we forget how frustrating the ups and downs of a new tank build really is. And that's where I am right now. And this was supposed to be good news though, wasn't it? It was supposed to be the good news part. I swear my whole YouTube channel is just becoming this never-ending rant about the uglies of new tankhood. But in actual good news, okay, I got myself some pretty new corals. And I told myself I would not get any pretty new corals anytime soon. I promise you, I really did tell myself that. But sometimes it's just hard, you know? It's hard. Don't judge me. You do it too. And I mean, I was a good girl this time because I didn't even look at the sticks. I closed my eyes and said, no SPS, no SPS. So I got a bunch of beautiful softies, this beautiful softie LPS pack. And y'all, can we just take a solid moment and acknowledge how sexy? I got these beauties from Timeless Corals and I absolutely love them. I got a bunch of Micromusa, which are super sexy. I mean, look at that coloration. I just can't. They look unreal. Also got this nice Rhodactis mushroom here, this Yuma, and this lovely little chalice. I placed the Micromusa on my little Micromusa ledge in the making here. And I really love how this ledge is coming along now, especially with these new additions, but they grow so slow. They grow so slow. I'm so impatient with seeing this ledge come to life. I still have no idea where I'm going to place the other corals. I have really bad commitment issues with coral placement, so I gotta stuck them all over the place temporarily until I can sit down and really assess my tank. If you guys have any ideas about where I should place these new lovelies, let me know in the comments, because they're all over the place right now. But overall, they're super pretty. And I'm really happy with them. Highly recommend Timeless Corals, especially if you're looking for any Micromusa, because these things are hot. And in other good news, I have seen a ton of good growth on my LPS, which is really nice. Torch is a monster. Seriously, this guy is growing like a weed, and I am not complaining about it. And I know they're not my favorites, but the Duncans are looking really good too. You know, they're kind of looking good. Like, I kind of really like the Duncans now, and I don't really want to get rid of them. They're kind of sexy. Like, Duncans have their own, you know, something. They add their own something to the reef tank, and they're often overlooked. I think wrongly so. I'm kind of growing to love these Duncans here. They're kind of cool. And also happy to note that this chalice that I quite literally left for dead in my sand bed a while back is making a surprising comeback. Yo, I was so sad to see this chalice not fare well when I moved it over into the 220, and I just gave up on it, and look at it, it's coming back. So happy to see that. Seriously, very happy about this indeed. And now for the not so good. Yo, my sand bed be looking ugly as fuck. I know y'all have been in the comments judging me for this too, so don't even act like you don't see it as well. It's bad. During my low nutrient and lack of beneficial bacteria meltdown, I may have picked up some of the brown menace. We got some not so beautiful dinos now. And honestly, y'all, I don't even want to talk about this right now. I don't have a microscope, and I don't want to talk about this right now. Can we just overlook my ugly dino sand bed for just one video? Like, I really just don't want to go here right now. Also, my anemones are moving all over the place. I gave them a rock. They won't accept the rock. How the heck do I get these guys to stay in a place? I'm going nutty. They are so beautiful. Why can't you just sit on your dedicated rock? But no, I'm an anemone. I have a mind of my own. I can't with anemones, y'all. And lastly, the ugly vermitid snails. Oh, vermitid snails. I have had issues with these little for a while now. Tried manual removal, they just came back. Super glued over their little heads, they just came back. I swear, I can never eliminate these things, and it's really driving me crazy. Going to have to manually remove these guys ASAP, because the corals, especially the hammers where they kind of originated from, they're getting really peeved off, and as am I. Vermitid snails are almost as annoying as Aiptasia. Seriously. Which I regret to announce has also taken over. I don't really want to address this for too long because I am raging. Pure rage inside. You take the time to dip the coral, remove the frag plugs from the coral, inspect the coral, and you know what? It's all in vain. It's all in vain because you're going to end up with Aptasia anyway. This little monster is inevitable, I've come to realize. And you know what? No, we're ending this discussion right here. Aptasia does not need this much screen time. Anyway, it's everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I will have to go on a serious Aptasia X and super glue suffocation spree here soon. You know, we've gotten rid of it once before in the 40 gallon, and you know what? We can do it again. We can do it again. Appreciate all of the lovely comments as always. Y'all have been making me feel so much better about my tank recently, even though I know it probably looks a lot worse now. I tend to get really overcritical of my tank sometimes, you know? But your comments always make me feel like it's really not that bad. Like we can overcome these issues. I'm really sorry for not posting on my channel recently. I have been super busy as I have moved house. Yes, that's right. I moved house, meaning I must also move the 220 gallon tank soon. So the exciting news is that I'm going to be moving the beast at the end of the month and will be documenting the whole process. Yes, the whole miserable process. As best as I can though, given my heightened levels of anxiety during this process. I'm scared to death, truly scared to death. We didn't need this. We didn't need this at all, but yet here we are. So stay tuned for the planning process of this tank move in my next video. It shall be a right hoot.